What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. This is episode 2 of the game, and things aren't looking that good for Malik because Malik is being Malik. First, he made a fool of himself with his little rap lyrics, "Don't judge me." Turns out he doesn't own the team. Not until next year. And then at the end of the episode, we seen he got pulled over. His assistant ran off and he got put in handcuffs for the smell of weed. But before we get into this episode, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, on the other hand, we got young Pitts. Brittany, she's got that executive assistant job for Tasha Mack, and she's trying to find her way. So let's jump into it. This is episode 2 of the game. We pick up right where we left off. Now, I told you when Malik got pulled over for being under the influence, they are in Vegas, so it's legal to smoke weed, but you're not supposed to smoke when you're behind the wheel. Now, I mentioned that the cop, he didn't see Malik smoking. He just pulled him over because he didn't signal. We seen Jamison was out running at the end of the last episode. So he comes around the block and he sees that Malik is getting arrested. And he's asking the cops, what's going on here? They're saying, oh, that's a pothead. Now, I did mention he didn't see Malik smoking any weed. He just seen him for signaling. So he's like, that's Malik, the starting quarterback for the Fury. Now, another cop comes over and he's like, did you see him smoking? He's like, nah. He's like, hey, man, let him go then. Cause, you know, that would be very, very bad. You have a police officer arresting a football player for something he didn't do. Yeah, that team is going to be on him. Now, the cops, they know who Jamison is because of his sexual assault charge, and he's on probation. So that's why he's able to talk to the cops and let them know, oh, that's Malik. Now, Jamison is talking to Malik and he's telling him, oh, yeah, that cop, he's cool. This one, and he really isn't. But he's also telling him, hey, I'm going to be at the tryouts tomorrow. I play football. I'm a running back. So Malik is all, well, I officially retired from football. But, hey, thanks for looking out for me. Now, this is going to show that there's going to be a connection between these two. And Malik, he may show up and put in a good word for him. It's open tryouts at this new stadium for the Fury, the Fighting Fury. So he's announcing it, the crowd going crazy. They got these no-name jerseys on. And he goes over to Tasha. He's like, hey, let's go out for a drink, compare notes, because she's here for the talent. We know she's still representing people. And he's like, look, you come out with me, I will make it. I will make sure that y'all are very, very wealthy. If you can make sure that Malik is the starting quarterback for my team. Tasha's like, oh, well, we talking business. Let's make it happen. Malik pulls up to the stadium. His assistant there smoking a little bit of weed. Like, nigga, where were you at last night? He said, man, wasn't no point in both of us going down. And Malik's like, man, it's either you're with me or you're against me. He's like, I'm with you, bro. I'm down. But, you know what I'm saying? Hit this real quick before you go in there. And, of course, Malik being Malik, like I said in the intro, he hits that blunt. Jamison is getting ready for these tryouts, so he's in the hallway doing a little handstand stretch that his mom taught him. Now Brittany comes in and we already know that she messed up on the first, the first interaction she had with him. Now she's like, oh, what are you doing in here? That's weird. And he's like, oh, it's a stretch that my mom taught me. She's like, oh, I'd like to meet her. She sounds weird. He says, unfortunately, she passed away while he was in jail. Now we know that she's throwing a party and she invites him to it. And he's like, man, I got a lot going on right now. She says, well, I like to buy you a drink and make up for it. But he's like, I don't really know about that. I got to get focused for this. Brittany is a very attractive woman. So while he's upside down in his headstand, she looks him in the face and says, you should smile more. It's very attractive. Now, I know you all see those memes and stuff of women saying a man shouldn't ask me to smile. Well, just like she asked him to smile, all it is a compliment. And it's just somebody showing a little bit of interest. But Jamison is focused. We got to make this team before we can worry about partying. Malik finally shows up. We hit that weed a little bit. We got to calm our nerves. Now, we just heard that Tasha was trying to make a deal with the colonel so we can get that 30 million. You know what I'm saying? We got to get that bread at least for one season. Now, Malik, he sees Britt Brat. He hasn't seen her in a while. And guess whose name they just heard? Jamison, and he ran a 4.240. But they're also talking about, well, he did go to jail. He was 19. The girl he messed with was 16. She was also white. He went to jail. She went to college. But you start seeing Brittany stepping up and saying, no, he's not no dealer. You know what I'm saying? He was wrongfully accused. Malik tosses him the ball. He's like, oh, you still need a QB? He gets out here with the slacks on, the dress shirt. He out here slinging that rock. He's showing everybody, I still got it. Even though I said I retired from football, I'm still out here and I'm getting it. But Jamison is also making him look good because the young man, he got skills. Jamison did 3 years in jail. I'm talking about he's running these routes though. It's 7-on-7, so we're not really getting to see him execute as a traditional running back, but he can catch coming out the backfield. That's good. But you already know there's going to be some blowback. There's people in the crowd talking about, go home, you rapist. It's like, dang, man, I did my 3 years. Like, come on, man. But you already know how that goes, especially with a black man. Now, Colonel, he grabs the mic because he hears all that chatter, and you don't want that because if the media's in there, they're going to play that on ESPN over and over. Now, he stops it, and what does he do? Yeah, damage control. So he says, all right, the player that's going to make it to come to training camp is number 81 because at this point, he can't have everybody looking at him for having a rapist on the team. It's unfortunate, but that's how the game is played. It's business first, image second. But both of those go together. If you got a good image, you usually do good at business. Malik hears this and he tells his mom, we need to get out of Vegas because he's seen that running back Jamison was the best one there. But the owner, I told you, damage control. He doesn't want to have a rapist on the team because every game you're going to have someone protesting. You're going to have people not wanting to come to the games, destroying things. But like I said, that's the way business is ran. Brit Rat shows up. All the ladies are here. We got the live music. It ain't what I was looking for. If I'm dropping 30,000 cash, I'm gonna need someone better than her singing "This Is How We Do It." It's Friday night. Like you could, man, we ain't trying to hear none of that. We want to hear some real music. But the girls show up and she's saying, if you can get people to buy up this bar, drink up all this liquor, y'all gonna make some money. Now Malik, he wants out of Vegas. Now his mom's telling him, we got some offers some other places. He's like, I want to get back to San Diego. She's saying these other teams like Dallas, they aren't gonna offer as much, but it's still an opportunity. And she's like, hey, look, let's just figure out what we're gonna do. You're gonna get you into some ownership. Now it's turned out that owning a team wasn't his dream. It was actually his teammates' dream. And he's saying ever since he passed, he's just been thinking about him. So that's one of the reasons why he started to invest into a team. Whole time I'm thinking this gentleman is his assistant. This is Caleb. He's seeing Caleb. So he's hallucinating this whole time. And he's saying that was my plan to own a team. But mom, you and the colonel, y'all had different plans. So no one can see Caleb except for Malik. Garret comes over to Brittany. We know he's a different type of individual. So he wanted it, the live music. So Raquel thinking this is how we do it. That was fine for him. And he tells Brittany, you fired my party planner? She's like, yeah, you're welcome. He said, well, look, you'll plan all my parties from here. Now, Raquel, she's like, ooh, I like your backside. Now, gentlemen, don't say that to women because if you're not attractive enough, they're going to call it harassment. And if you got enough money, they're going to call it harassment also. But women, they can just do it, even though they shouldn't be able to. After a hard day of working out just to be told no, Jamison says, well, hell, an attractive woman offered me a drink. Why not go get that? Now they get up there and she starts explaining how her and Raquel, they became friends because they both had bad decision making when it came to picking men. And they were both dating a guy who was messing with both of them, but was married. So they became best friends. August 28th. That's where they have a little thing called area code 828. Now Jamison, he's here and he's taking that drink and it looks like they hitting it off. Now the top dog at the bar, she comes over and brings a shot and says, hey, Brittany, if you pack it out like this, you can use it whenever. Well, when you had the connections to $30,000 and you can throw an event, oh yeah, come on in here. Come on in here. Now what Jamison does tell her is you need to watch yourself, especially with her, because she doesn't play around. And what is the first thing Brittany says? Oh, I can handle myself. So there we go, a foreshadow. Something's going to go wrong in this club and it ain't going to be good for Brittany. Some clown, I never understood why dudes do this. He comes over and say, watch out, shorty. You might get roofied in the R word with this guy. But don't worry, he only likes white girls. Jamison fires off on him. I'm talking about gets a good hit. His boy come over, hit him with a bottle. That's why you always got to have something glass in your hand when you're at the club, especially when you're by yourself. Because if something gets ugly, you at least got enough to get you about that situation. Brittany runs up on the stage and grabs the mic because she wants to diffuse the situation, get everybody to get back to partying. Now, they supposed to be in Vegas. I don't know what club they at where it's just this little bitty stage like this, but you ain't partying in Vegas if you're something like this. This is just a laid back lounge or something. Nothing big, probably not even on the strip. Malik went all the way back to Richmond, California to the burial place of his friend Caleb. Now, he's sitting there, he's drinking a little bit, and Caleb is asking him, why'd you come all the way out here, I'm with you wherever you go. And he's saying, man, long story short, I'm scared, man. And Caleb was like, look, just because you got your feelings hurt by some billionaires, man up, bro. It's going to happen like that, but stay strong. And what he's telling him is like, Malik, you might need to separate yourself from me and go and be that man for yourself. Yeah, it's going to be scary out here. Things aren't going to go the way you want, but you got to go and live your life. So that's all Caleb is trying to let Malik know. Hey, man, it's going to be all right. You just got to move forward with your life. One of the groundskeepers is out there and they looking at Malik. He's like, who the hell is he talking to? And Malik, he finally gets what Caleb is saying. And he goes over to the groundskeeper and gives him a bottle, talking about you can finish it. I'm like, nigga, I don't nobody want that bottle you didn't drink out of. Yeah, I'm at work anyway, man. I'm chilling. Jamison is on parole and he's upset about what happened. He ran a 4.240. He was balling out and they invited someone that was a little less athletic and gifted. But I told you, that's just what teams are going to do because they don't want that blowback of there's a rapist on the team. Now he's on probation. He's like, look, is there any way I can go to Canada? Well, his probation is for another 15 months. And the guy is saying, look, I mean, after you finish that, you're able to go wherever you want to go. But as of right now, you just got to sit tight. And that's how it is. Once you get in the system, it's a hard thing to get out of. You just got to be on that straight and narrow until everything is done. Now we're looking at our boy Malik getting an MRI because he needs to get some imaging done on his brain because he's saying that he's seeing things. Now we know he's been hallucinating and seeing Caleb. So maybe he has a concussion. We don't know yet, but that's what this MRI/CAT scan is going to do. Now, if you remember, the owner of the team gave Tasha his divorce card, well, to his attorney. She calls home to her husband and he's gone, but the kid's there. So this got her kind of thinking, maybe the colonel was right. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I might need a divorce. Now, Jamison, he's upset because he got wrongfully accused of something and it just threw him in the system. So his whole life was derailed by one night. And it was probably just her parents that said, oh, he did this with my daughter. And since she was under the age, hey, there's nothing you can do about that, brother. You just gotta, fellas, make sure they're of age. That's all I can say about that. For Malik, you can't be diagnosed with CTE until after you pass, when they can actually go into your brain and see if that's what caused it. Now, it could just be stress. That's what the doctor is saying. And for him, he smokes the weed to clear his mind. Now, I can definitely relate to that. Now, I told you that foreshadow. Jamison told Brittany to watch out for her. Now, Brittany, she brought in some money. So what she's demanding is, if I come in here and pack this place out, I want 20%. Also, Raquel, she's no longer waiting tables. She's your house act, meaning she's going to be the one performing during the week. Probably Monday through Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is when things pick up. But the lady is saying, I don't like losing money. So if this is what you want, you better make it happen or you about a year. Now, Malik, he heard from the doctor that he's good to go. It's his decision that he want to play. He calls a press conference and he says, I'm going to hold off on being a team owner for 1 year. But until then, I'm going to be the quarterback for the Fury and I'm going to bring Las Vegas a championship. Caleb out there like, I knew you could do it, brother. Tasha Mack is back and she's telling Brittany, all right, look, I need all my designer shoes organized. Fendi, Gucci, Louis, everything else throw out because we bougie now. Brittany talking about, you know I'm your size, because she broke right now. She ain't got no money, so she want to get those free clothes. I don't blame her. But Tasha says, you may be my size, but you can't fill my shoes. Brittany's like, yeah, well, you know, I've been doing good. I made my first payment, $20,000. So I'm not that bright at math, but she owes $930,000, $20,000 minus that is $910,000. Sheesh, that's a long way to go. Now Brittany's talking about, yeah, Tasha, well, it's my, you know what I'm saying? It's time for me to get my first check. Tasha's like, no, those bottles that you sold, those were a gift to you. You sold them. That's like stealing from the company. You're taking advantage of her clients. So because they gave you a gift, that doesn't mean you're supposed to go out and sell it. So Tasha says, nope, you're going to work for me harder than ever. You got to earn back my respect and trust. And with all of this is going to get the trust back from your parents. Because Brittany hasn't notified her parents that she owes almost $1 million. Tasha said, this is how you got in this mess. Taking advantage of people, stealing from family. And the first thing people do when they feel like they're in trouble, she said, Auntie Tasha, I ain't your aunt right now. I'm your boss. Tasha comes up to the strip club. 'Cause you see, she went and talked to his parole officer. She said, I want to know what's going on with this guy, Jamison. Now he's up here stripping, doing his thing. Stripper man, stripper man. Tasha over there, come here, boy. Check what your mama gave you. He's like, hey, man, I'm a football player. Just because I'm up here stripping don't mean nothing. I'm a football player. She's like, you better watch how you're talking because I'm your new agent. So Tasha's taking Jamison up under her wings. We about to try to get my dog in the league. All right, there you go. Episode 2 of the game. Let me know, do you think Jamison's going to make something shake? And also, how long do you think it's really going to take Brittany to pay off that money? We still got $910,000 that she owes. Not to mention that $20,000 shouldn't even been her $20,000. Should have been more like maybe 3 or 4 because those bottles weren't hers. But let me know what you guys think. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.